guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're driving a highly anticipated car for me. This is a facelift, so pretty much a brand new Hyundai i30N, a GTI Golf competitor maybe? We'll find out today, because I actually shot one of these a few years ago now, and was blown away at how good they were. Honestly, probably the most underrated new hot hatch I'd ever driven. And today we're now sat in the facelift one, a little bit more power over the pre-facelift. We've got better styling, a roof spoiler, various other little bits and bobs. And this one is a highly optioned car. We'll go through that once we find some awesome B-roads. But make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, but onwards to some B-roads. So we are selecting the checkered flag on the steering wheel to start, because the car is warm, it is ready to go, it is in its warmest setting, let's say. And we're going to see the 278 brake horsepower that these now produce. This one actually, funnily enough, has probably one of the best spec I've ever seen on an i30. So it has, of course, the new facelift bits outside, newer bumpers, LED headlights, various things like that, the roof spoiler, but it's actually been optioned with an 8-speed DCT gearbox. So that is an option from the factory. It's about £2,000 to opt that. You can, of course, still get this in a manual if you so wish to, but I'm lazy and quite like auto, so I'm glad today this has an auto box. It's also a performance model, so it has 19-inch forged alloy wheels with that option, and as you can see, it has the bucket seat option as well. Relatively inexpensive options, if I'm quite honest, and if you were going to opt this car from the factory, those are the three I would say go and get straight away. These seats are insane, they are so comfortable, but also look the absolute nuts and illuminate when you get in the car. Of course, all of this does bring the curb weight, or weight of the car at least, down by about, I think it's 4 kilos on the performance pack with the wheels and stuff, and there's about 2 kilos in the seats. But to be honest, will we actually notice that on the road? I'm not too sure. So checkered flag mode, drive mode, we'll cycle through and go to sport with that checkered flag mode as well on. We'll pop that in. There is a couple of bits. We'll put it in N mode, so the setting that they want you to drive it in. And gear, third gear. We have shift lights. Okay, they have. Wow, the brakes are good. It's actually got a shift light in front of me. How sick is that? That's cool. That's really, really cool, that is. First things first, actually, tweak of the suspension from the pre-facelift and a tweak from the steering. To be honest, I can't really tell the difference on road at the moment because I haven't driven a pre-facelift for a while, but I can tell you it is a point and squirt B-road animal, this car. The steering is pretty direct. It feels very, very light on its feet as you do go through some corners, and the power is actually just right. It's not coming out of a corner and trying to put you into a hedge or anything. The brakes are absolutely phenomenal, like phenomenally good. That 2-litre turbocharged engine, I think, does pick up really nicely, about 2,500 RPM. We're actually on full boost, which is quite nice. Loving the shift lights in front of us, and pops and bangs from that exhaust system out the back. Oh yes, that's so good. What a car setup from the factory. That is absolutely phenomenal, this car is. I am so impressed. It's an underdog, this car, because I feel like if you're buying a Golf GTI, or I'm not going to say S3 because it's a little bit different, you're not necessarily looking at one of these. Maybe a Focus ST. Hate to say this out loud, people won't like this, but this car absolutely destroys all of those. It really does. The grip levels from the bigger wheel and tyre package is fantastic. And you know what? when you say Hyundai, sometimes you think, oh, there's got to be a drawback somewhere. There's got to be a drawback in this car somewhere, and to be honest, I haven't actually found it yet. It's got heated steering wheel, heated seats, Alcantara and leather absolutely everywhere. We have this huge screen in front of us which you can actually go into. Now this is a newer 10-inch or 10.25-inch screen where you can actually go in and change as much as you want. Just, you know, various things like you can in a GTI or R, but these start at 33 grand, which I think for a hot hatch these days is a bit of a bargain. It's not because it's 30 grand, don't get me wrong, but that is still not bad whatsoever, considering the package you're actually getting from this car is probably the perfect car for the UK, you know, in hot hatch terms. I can't actually find a downfall yet, and that's interesting, because I drive a lot of cars, shoot a few bits, and even short shifted, it is just power low down, bit bumpy, we'll say that, it's a little bit bumpy, but I mean, if you did take it out of all of its race modes, it will probably come down a little bit. This is a bloody good car, this is, wow. I am so impressed. Do you know what? My seating arrangements, talk about the cockpit and stuff, is buttons are easy to get to, climate control's nice, just sat there nicely. You've got USB, you've actually got two cigarette lighters in front of us, which is a shout. Sometimes you can't see them in cars these days. Huge drinks bins down here to get, I think you probably get a 2-litre bottle in there, if not a 1.5 or at least a litre, very, very easily. You can actually get a couple in there, I think, by the looks of it. Back seats are nice and spacious as well. I drive slightly further back than probably most people do, and there's still loads of room behind me. And of course, it's got a good sized boot for a hot hatch or a smaller car. Yeah, I can't find the only drawback, the only one is it's slightly stiff. But my M4's stiff because it's, like, you know, a performance car. So you expect that, you understand the car for that. I'm not sure. This is really, really good. It's leveled up. Not that it wasn't insanely good to start with when I shot the pre-facelift, but yeah, this thing is up there. I am absolutely gobsmacked at how good this thing is, and more people should buy them. They really should. You should go in and have some faith in the idea that they really know what they're talking about these days. Hyundai used to be, well, not used to be, but, you know, it had some sort of stigma, I suppose, at some point. Some people would argue that they didn't. I feel like they did, you know, from a, I'm not a journalist, but from a point of view where I shoot cars, there was sometimes, you know, some drawback from Hyundai that they weren't, you know, the prestigious brand, and they weren't able to do bits and stuff. But, mate, where I'm sat at the moment, it's going to be hard to touch this, I tell you. I'd really like to back-to-back a Club Sport GTI maybe with this. The normal GTI just wouldn't be able to be this good. And I'm a GTI fanboy through and through. And, yeah, slightly converted right now, if I'm quite honest. This car is absolutely blowing my mind with how good it is. Not even going to lie, it is just very comfortable. You know, it's stiff, don't get me wrong, but they're all stiff these days. The seats are nice, the steering's fantastic, the power's right, and the colour's cool. I love the colour of this. So what I would probably do is opt this with the 3 packs that I've already said, especially get these seats, they're really, really nice. We'll actually take it out of drive mode and out of that and just see what the suspension's like out of that. Oh yeah, it completely changes. Still a little bit rough, not crazy rough, but you could daily this so easily. You wouldn't have too many problems with it being too stiff and too this and too that. I would probably pressure more people to actually go out there and get one of these, or at least go and drive one and see how you feel, because, mate, this is top tier hot hatch, I tell you. This is very, very good. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did like today's video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Make sure you send over your cars if you want to be part of the channel. Always up for shooting cars, and remember, hit up fydapparel.com. Support the channel with the link in the description. But thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one.